Hey Cancer, it's Veroosh. Welcome to my channel and welcome to your reading for August. First of all, I want you to know that your reading's coming last completely at random. I know it came up last time too, but that was not by my choice. I try to remain fair by allowing the cards that I'm showing you here at the beginning of the video to come up randomly. So that's the way it came up. You and Scorpio actually came up last again. And so I'm sure this is reaching you at the time that you need, and I hope it gives you just as much insight as if I posted it last week. Anyway, members, I have an extra video for you guys with this video, so I'll tell you guys about that at the end of this video, okay? So first of all, I'm going to take a look at your general overview as well as your singles message and your couples message. If you guys don't know my rule, if I see the bottom of the deck, which we just saw, this is the Seven of Wands, then that's something that's significant. This is all about standing up for yourself and kind of sticking to your guns, drawing a line in the sand and deciding what you want. So maybe this is a message for the overall energy. Let's take a first card up. We have the Five of Cups. Okay. So you're actually going to tell someone how they've been making you feel. So this is what's coming up for you in the next month. You are going to confront that person. It's a friend or maybe someone with whom you have a relationship with or a family member that you have been towing the line with for a long time and accepting their behavior that's been hurting your feelings. So finally, you're in a situation in which you feel like this is urgently needed. The second card for singles we have is the Seven of Cups. And so this is Venus in Scorpio. I actually really like the Seven of Cups for dating and romance because it adds the extra flair of romance and creativity into your interaction with others. So in the next month, I feel like for you, there's going to be, this is for singles, but like whether you're interested in someone or seeing someone casually or maybe very, very single, your attitude is going to be very optimistic. You're going to be very kind of lit up and ready to love at the drop of a hat, basically. And when the sun enters into Virgo, that's going to be very fortunate for you in terms of love. And so that's going to be all very nice. And already Venus and Mars are in aspect to your placements. So as they are in Virgo, and so that's a nice sextile to your transits in Cancer. So you should be feeling some of that love energy in your life at this time. And if it's not from someone else, then it's coming from within you. So it always starts within us anyway. Okay, so third card is for couples. We have the Temperance card, and so this is Sagittarian energy. I feel as though you're working through something together, and it's taking a long time to find a common ground, but I feel like there will be a very wonderful outcome to this. This is always a card of reassurance, the Temperance card, which means that whatever's going on, it's just taking a while. It's kind of the optimistic side of the Hanged Man, which is saying like, sure, it takes a little time to get things right. So we'll look at that a little bit more in a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to roll the dice for each option and get you a sign and a house placement for each one. So we have, for the general energy, the 12th house is important for Cancer this month, and the sign of Capricorn opposing you. Oh, big news in Capricorn. Okay, so so 12th house is the house of the internalized beliefs or our perceptions of the world. Sometimes there's other houses that sort of govern this area of your life, but I do feel like internally you have been working through some things or you feel some things about a situation, and so I think it's time to let it out. We'll see in a moment what that looks like. Sorry about the jingle jangle, but let's roll the dice for singles. I didn't really prepare my dice. They're just in my little dish. Okay, so let's see. For singles, We have the ninth house, which I love for singles. Expansion of horizons. This is like, let's go on a cruise, air in your hair. And Gemini is important for you at this time. This could also be pointing to something that happened during Gemini season. I really feel like a lot what's going on for you has to do with like the 12th house, the subconscious, those kinds of energies. And so maybe you have tapped into the subconscious in some way and you're being more carefree, and Gemini season could have been the start of this. Okay, so we'll look at that in just a minute, but first, let's roll the dice for couples. Sorry. Not organized today. Okay, and so couples get the ninth house too. So lots of ninth, regardless of your relationship status. It's a time of expansion for Cancers at this time. Now this could mean that you're literally going somewhere, or just expanding your horizons in some way, but it can actually represent that you're mentally expansive at this time. So you're taking on new possibilities. And couples, maybe something to do with Virgo, or like I mentioned before, Virgo season might be important for you this year. So when the planets enter into Virgo and the sun enters Virgo, is Virgo season. However, this year it's a little bit different because Mars and Venus are ahead of the sun and they're already in Virgo in Leo season. I think that the Venus entered maybe even during, let's see, I have actually the thing in front of me. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. Venus actually entered into Virgo on the first day of Leo season, so she's quite ahead at this time. Okay, she's getting ready for her retrograde period at the end of the year. Okay, so let's clarify each. So first, Five of Cups. For the general, for this is a message for everyone. We have the Seven of Rods, and then we have the Knight of Cups. Nice energy. So, okay, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles. I think you're going to make an offer, and basically there's going to be an energy of like waiting to see where it goes. I think that immediately you will receive some kind of apology or some kind of consolation for what you are expressing. However, time's only going to tell whether or not this apology sticks or whether it lands and whether it's truly going to lead in a good direction. I feel like whether you're telling this person or whether you're simply saying, I have to go, you're getting away from something that you don't want to be near at this time. So something that's low vibrational, something that's not healthy, something that's polluting your mind or your feelings. And I think you're taking the next step forward in a new direction. And I feel like you're taking the initiative to correct some wrongs that you feel about in your life. I essentially feel like some aspect of your life you feel is toxic or is unhealthy for you. And I think you've quietly been carrying on with this frequency. However, I think you're feeling that the time is to go in a different direction, to just basically it's no longer feasible for you to continue in this manner with this person or in this situation. Okay, so second, we're going to take a look at singles. Let's clarify, and we're going in deeper, guys. There's a third level to this, so hold on tight. So we have the 10 of Pentacles next for singles. I feel like you're in a candy shop, essentially. I don't know, a candy shop of men, women, whoever you like. And I feel like people need people wherever you're at. There's people who want your time and attention. I really feel as though you're really a beacon of light in this energy. So wherever you're spending your time, you are amid people who are needing it of your frequency. They're needing of your energy, and that you're very attractive to them at this time. So it's a time to sort of be selective and careful with who you actually interact with, because it's not like a really good thing to be, in a place where people have somehow less than you, maybe not financially, but maybe emotionally, and they're all drawn to you for your strength. it's kind of not a good look to be, you know, you can definitely engage with that, but in terms of, you know, for the ego, like using that energy to boast yourself, it's not a very good vibe. So be careful with this. I do feel like you're really drawn to the attention that you're receiving. Like they think you're great, but I think you should really ask questions here and ask, you know, are they looking to be dependents? Are they flattering my ego? Are they just giving me this attention of like supremacist attention, and they're making me feel like an important person, you know? Or do you feel like an important person on your own, and these people are just simply complimenting this? So I think that the issue here is dependency. Like, are you building dependency or codependency with people, or are you being true to yourself and honoring your beauty and your wonderful qualities? And are these relationships really mirroring that? Or are you, like I said, building dependency-based relationships? So in short, I know that got a little abstract, so let's make it a little bit more concrete. I feel like you are in a place where you possibly have more money than others, or you're in a stronger position than others, Cancer. And I think you need to be very wary of your position vis-a-vis them. So I'm from Poland, and I've been to Poland when it was not that great there economically, and I came from Canada, and I was very young, and I learned this lesson about respecting other people in their situations and in the conditions that their economy is producing for them. And like, you have to be very mindful when you're dealing with people from a different economic level or ability, because that can be extremely violent, the way that people treat people that are lower than them. I don't think I was higher than them, but obviously. So I'm getting this kind of energy there where you're in some way maybe in a problematic situation. You like the attention, but make sure that it's coming from a healthy place, and you're not building a relationship where you're reaffirming their lack and you're reaffirming your strength, because that can be very enticing. You know, that can be very enticing and like feel really good, because the ego likes to feel that type of feeling. But be really mindful that you're not exploiting someone else who's in a vulnerable position here. So like, why are they drawn to you? Ask yourself this, because you're beautiful on your own, and your beauty kind of encompasses not doing that to others. So we'll talk about that more in the next part, but sorry if that's a little bit too of a specific message or observation, but I think that's really coming through. Okay, so couples, let's see what's going on here. So we have the Magician. That's Mercury. That's also, for me, one person making a strong advancement towards the other person. Then we have the Wands card, which is the Ace of Wands. And then we have the Three of Cups, which is some sort of reunion. I feel as though there's a concerted effort to improve a relationship here. I feel like maybe you have gone on the rocks together, or have had some strain in your relationship. It could have been an actual separation or an emotional one, but I think one person is really stepping up to the plate and trying even harder to make peace, and I think that it's leading in a good direction. Okay, so let's clarify each of these rounds. I just want to, before we do that, I want to mention to members, I did a reading called Behind the Closed Doors for members for every sign in this reading, and it's kind of, I don't like the title, as I've said over and over again, and this is like what's the secret of this situation? We're snooping a little bit. So we're taking a look here, like what's actually going on behind the scenes for the general. And for the couples, we switch it up even more, and we take it in a more innuendo fashion, behind closed doors, referring to intimacy. And so there's 2 intimacy readings coming up for couples in the members only section. They'll be linked here and down in the description down below. Okay, so let's clarify this. So we had this, somebody is well, I think it's you asserting some feelings to someone. And I think, Capricorn can represent a person. But remember, your 7th house is Capricorn, right? Whether your sun, moon, or rising is in Cancer. And so, how do you say this? Capricorn is now, there's a transit of Pluto in Capricorn, and last year there was a transit of Saturn and Jupiter in Capricorn with that, and it was kind of bonkers for the last couple years. And I think that now that it's passed somewhat for Cancers, I can speak more. I didn't want to speak about it too early because I think that it's sort of, you don't want to project too much as people are going through things, because you want them to have their own kind of experience of whatever is going on. But now I'll basically say that, it's a power differential issue, you and Capricorn, right? And it's opposite each other. That's why I'm doing this, the 1st house to the 7th house, right? And so it's a power differential issue. And so I feel like for you, you've had some really hard lessons about personal boundaries, about allowing people to be a certain way in your life, and that leading to unfortunate outcomes, and like especially tyranny or injustice of some kind. And so now, coming out of these transits, you have learned very, very deeply that you cannot allow other people into your life to trample you beyond your personal boundaries. And so many of you have learned these lessons. It's all about standing up for yourself. So what I see here and that's what Capricorn, I think, is referring to. And the 12th house is referring to your personal thoughts about the issue, how you're feeling about it, how you're thinking about it. And so essentially, I feel like you've been harboring these observations about your current environment, Cancer, regardless if you're single or couple. And so I feel like this is, you're no longer willing, like maybe in the past before 2019 and 2018, 2017, you would sit around and sit with a situation that was beneath you in some way. And I don't mean in a hierarchical sense, but just beneath you, in the way that they were behaving. And now I don't think you're willing to sit in it anymore. I think you're really wanting to take a different route, a different direction. And even if it takes a little bit of time, I think that you're ready to go, and that's a really wonderful thing. Okay, so now let's take a look at the clarifier. We have the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius. Sorry, I spooked myself. And then we have the 6 of Cups, which is Sun in Scorpio. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles, which is Venus in Virgo. I'm okay, guys. I'm just a little spooked out. And then we have the Tower, okay, Temperance. And then we have the Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Likely this is you. I think that taking a certain step is going to change your relationship with someone else, but this is your card, the Chariot. I think this is you putting into practice a lesson that you've learned a long time ago, like about personal boundaries. And I think that you essentially are not willing to carry on in a relationship that you were willing to carry on before. Now you're sort of, this isn't for me, I'm going to go. And I think that the outcome of this is prosperity, happiness, joy, a real consolidation of strength for within yourself. And I think you're just rising up out of this situation. So let's take a look at your singles message if you're a single. So what were we looking at? This was a warning sign, hey? It was like, be careful of the people that you're around, especially like, don't put yourself in it's really good when someone's admiring you and they're lowering themselves and like, well, it doesn't feel good, but like, I can see how it's tempting, right? Like when somebody's like, wow, you're so awesome. I'm such a loser, I know that can feel kind of okay, like in a way for being celebrated, but I think it's like a toxic intoxication. So I think that you might be around some people that are like obsessing about you, or they're just like, they think that like you're you're somehow more, you have more than the people around you. And so you need to be very careful with these people, you know. So then we have the Ten of Pentacles again. So this is like very close relationships. You have a plethora of people around you, many, many people. Then we have Justice, which is Libra. And I think this really ties into this. It's like, you know, you could be around all sorts of different kinds of behaviors that are kind of pushing you to be unlike yourself. And once you become unlike yourself, then it becomes unfortunate. King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. Secondary transits in Sag. And then we have that Five of Pentacles here. So you're maybe someone who's on hard times at this time. Also, it's like when you're meeting someone and they're having a difficult time, it's always difficult to gauge whether or not to intervene or help in that situation, because there's so many permutations that come from that. There could be so many outcomes, so many different circumstances. There's the Knight of Cups, but you're opening your heart. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And then we have the Two of Cups. There you go. So you have to hold on here. You have to hold on and figure out some things. Allow people to figure out their own problems. That's what I really get strongly for you. And when it's time, open your heart. There could be an earth sign person around you, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. And I think that you want to get away from those dependency, codependent-based relationships at this time. And I think that you are about to have an interaction with, and I'm not promising love and perfection, but this is looking very nice. A very good connection with this King of Pentacles. I think that's you opening up, and it's kind of walking away from codependence. And I think you've learned your lesson. It's kind of a mirror of this general reading. You've learned your lesson about codependence here. Codependence is being with someone despite the fact that you're not on the same level, you don't enjoy the same things, but yet you're afraid that you won't get anything else, so you stay in a relationship that's not good for you, or because of need. You know, it's a dependent-based relationship, and those never end well. Both people end up being drained and so forth. So I think that there's this lesson here of, like, I know it's intoxicating to, like, have someone who needs you, but also at the same time, it's a very slippery slope. So let's just put it that way. So I think you're pulling yourself out of that, and I think there's someone ahead of you with whom you can really bond and carry on. Okay, so now let's take a look at our last section, which is couples, and let's see what's going on for couples this month. So we have the Three of Swords, that's Saturn in Libra, and then we have the Queen of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. I think one person knows that if they don't smarten up, it's the end of the relationship. This got really intense really fast. It was like, oh yeah, carry on here. But I think especially the female in the relationship put her foot down and said, no, if this is not going to improve, if you don't smarten up, essentially, you've got to go. And then you have the Ace of Cups here. So there's a wake up. Somebody's having a wake up. Then we have the Scorpio energy. Let's see what else is going on. And then we have the Knight of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. I have a feeling that someone within this relationship, 10 of Cups here on the bottom, I just happened to look at it. I feel like there's someone, you're going to put your foot down. One person's going to put their foot down and really put an ultimatum. It could be an implied one or an explicit one, which means that you can just say it out front, or you can imply it, and they know very clearly that if things don't change, then, sayonara, see you later. But I think that it wakes them up. I don't think that the reason why this person is been this way, like shut down, I'm getting like things like depression or life stress that has just simply pushed them in a negative direction. And so now they're getting woken up and kind of get with the program already sort of mentality. And I think things will improve for you there. There is a little hitch, a little snag. As things change, there will be a concrete issue that the person who drew the line, so probably you, is going to be still irritated by. So yeah, it's fine that everything improved, but there's still like a harsh conversation that's going to happen. You may be worried about this conversation. The outcome is going to be very positive. So that's what I'll tell you about that. So members, it's getting dark, so I want to get the video out to members. You guys, thank you for watching. Members, your extended is in the description and at the end, and then the click through. Thanks for waiting, Cancer. Hopefully next time you won't be last, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.